All right, guys, as I promised, here we are with a quick video on magnet installations. We're going to take this particular kit, which is a very nice one. I'm going to be talking about it soon on the channel, which is this is a custom fan art made Joker, and it's a quarter scale piece. So we'll get into all of that later. I just want to do the magnet installation just to go and show you guys how I go about doing that. We'll do it on the head. We'll do the magnetize the head into the torso area. So would be the front of the body, and the arms go on either side, and then his tie comes out here. But this is what we're concerned with today, which is just magnetizing this into this. As you can see, there's no magnets, and we want to go about, securing it so that we're able to have them where the magnet is installed, and then you could take the head on and off. When you're going to ship something like this, you don't want to make it permanent. Like, look at all of these hair strands. So you want to make sure that this is something that's going to be securely packaged, and you want to be able to take it on and off. It's also good for a nice display. So the tools that I'll be using is the drill, obviously with a nice size drill bit to be able to make the hole so that the magnet fits perfectly in there. The Gorilla Glue, which is the glue that I use, and once I have everything in place, I hit it with the Insta Set. It makes it dry right away, and we have a Sharpie marker here to guide us, because we need to make indication where the magnets for the different sides, like for example, obviously one side will push the other side away. That's the side that you want to be able to indicate, so that you don't put this thing so that the head then won't be able to go in. You want it to be able to click in properly, so you need to make your proper indications. Okay, guys, so for starters, what I like to do is, you got to be careful and make sure that you plan out everything prior to doing any drilling or any type of installation, because you want to make sure that everything is perfectly in tune, so that when these things are done, the magnets are actually touching and you don't have a gap in between, and then it's not really secure. So the first test that I do is I just take a little bit of paint, nothing too crazy, but enough to make a little dot, and put enough so that it's actually enough to paint. Then what I do is I come in, I grab my other piece, and I do this with every piece that I want to install a magnet on. I go ahead and I push this in. Once I bring it up, if I don't see a mark in there, then I know that this peg is not touching all the way flush in there. Okay, so like I already know off the bat that I'm gonna have to have a little raised magnet in here, just raised a tad, to be able to touch this. So I'm going to install the magnet in here first, and then we'll do the paint test again. And if this then touches the magnet, then I know I'm good money. If not, then you got to stack magnets. All right, I hope that makes sense. I'll show you. All right, so what I want to do is make sure that my magnet is a nice size magnet. So I go ahead and I just put this in here, center it off, and as you can see, this magnet is pretty decent in there. It's gonna cover a lot. So when the magnet is placed on in here, if everything goes to plan, it's gonna be perfectly in the middle, and both of these things will be perfectly touching. But being that this covers enough, then I don't have to worry if it's a little bit off center or whatever. I know that it's gonna attach, as opposed to using something maybe like this little small magnet. You have to be perfect, perfect with it. Can't make any little errors, and then the magnet might not be completely touching, and then you get that slight that if you turn it over, the head's gonna pop off. That's what you don't want. So that's a good size magnet. I have different sizes, and I just pick accordingly. So the only thing that I did here was I started on the corner, and I went from corner to corner, likewise from corner to corner, and I drew an X, right? And then obviously in the middle where the crosses meet, that's where I'm going to come in with the drill bit, and that's perfect center. So, you know, if all goes to plan, I should be getting my magnet, you know, like that, which is the game plan, and that will be perfect. So let's give it a shot and see how that goes. All right, so I drilled in. The drill bit that I have is got this little extension here in the front, which is like something that I guess what it does is like it guides the hole first, and that's why you see that extra hole in the middle. But you can see where it recessed into where the magnet is going to go. Now you have to pick your battles, because do I want the magnet to be like, I already know that the head isn't touching in there, so I want one of the two magnets to be lifted out a little bit to make the contact. So do you pick your battle here, where you, if the magnet is raised out a little bit, nobody's ever going to see that, as opposed to coming over here where the magnet might end up having to stick out a little bit. Let's say it comes out that much so that it can touch. I'd rather do that, you know, magnet popping up a little bit or stacking magnets in here, because this I would like to be flush. That's just my game plan. So we're going to try to see how this fits in here, and then we'll do the test again. We'll mark this and see if it goes in there. All right, let's try to put this magnet in here. All right, nice. So I left it protruding a little bit. It's not the it's a very snug fit, so there's no wiggle room. We're gonna come now. We'll take this and do our test again. Little dab should do. And now we're gonna go in and we're gonna see if it touches. And yeah, see, we got red on there, and this is smushed. So this is definitely touching. So now I'm set. I know where my level is. I look at this magnet. I have to leave this magnet sticking up just a little bit. And then over here, this one's going to be flush, because now I know that at flush, it's touching in there. So I'm going to set this magnet now with the glue. And once that's cured, which is going to take like a few minutes, because I'm going to hit it with this Insta-Set, which is going to make the glue accelerate and dry immediately. I always like to give it a little bit of time, a couple minutes just in case. And then in the interim, while that dries, we'll work on the magnet on this guy. And then, you know, we'll show the whole marking with the marker to make sure that you don't have no reverse polarity, etc. All right, so quickly, here we go with the magnets. I have my row of magnets here. Some of these have, the reason why they're blue is just some overspray. These are same magnets as these. It's just that I've had them while I was doing work and whatever, holding up, you know, heads that are already thin, you know, heads that already have magnets on them, and I'm spraying, etc. No big problem. So as we can see, they're all in the same direction. So this is obviously attracting to this. If I go and try to put this one into this corner and into this opposite end, it's gonna push away. It's not gonna go unless I flip it and it goes. Okay, so what you want to do is grab your two magnets and make sure that they're attracting each other. So these sides are attracting. I already know that this is, I always put a dot on where it's not. This is the side that's gonna get pushed in. So in other words, this is gonna get pushed into this dot in, and then there'll be a dot out here when I go to do the next one, and then they'll be perfect. So what we're gonna do is a little bit of glue. Like, I already know, see, my dot is there. Take a little bit of glue. Nice little bit. Take a toothpick and spread it all around. Bring it up some. I don't know if you can see that. Bring it up all the way onto the walls so that it will grip the magnet all the way around. I had to make a little pilot hole there because the magnet got stuck in there. You know, installing magnets is it's not the funnest thing to do, man. You just got to make sure that you take your time, because this thing can frustrate you. I want to add a little bit more just to make sure that there's a nice little puddle in there and that it's going to grab this magnet. If it overflows, no big deal. All right, so I'm going to grab my magnet. My dot is in. I'm just gonna dip it in just a little bit to make sure that it gets some glue on it. You can see the glue around the bottom there. Okay, so once I do that, I'm gonna insta-set it, sprays, then I'm gonna put this in and just watch it. Make sure that it's just sticking up just a little bit. And I can feel it, like it's already hard. It's already hard in there. Boom. That's it, that magnet is in. Insta-set, baby. Best thing out there. So just make sure that it's in there and that is holding nice. When you pull this out, that's it. There you go. Nice and snug. Now we can move on to the next step. Okay. Now, I've given this a few minutes, so this is nice and set in there. Now we're gonna come and do the same thing on this guy. And what we're gonna do is, I cleaned that off. Like I said, we're gonna come and we're gonna do our X from corner to corner. Okay, nice X. We already know that right here in the center is where we're gonna come with our drill bit. So I'll do that again off camera, and then we'll come in and install the magnet, and then we'll test fit it. So real quick, you want to do all of this while this kit is raw, okay? You don't want to be drilling in and making mistakes and having to drill stuff back out and making marks and stuff when this is already painted, okay? This is why this is all this magnet installation and pinning and all this other stuff. I do it prior to the actual work getting done. When I say work, I'm talking about prepping and everything else. This is like the first stage, just making holes in the kit and pinning and adding rods and magnets. Do all of that stuff first, get it out of the way, and then you come and you prime and fix all your imperfections and everything else later on. And then your paint is at the end. All right, so now this is done already, that I drilled the hole. So what we're gonna do is, I'm very finicky with these magnets, man. I don't trust them. I don't trust them at all. So I'm gonna go ahead and redo the test. So now I know that that's the proper polarity. So now I'm gonna make my indication here. This is telling me that this has to go inside, right? So that when the head is in, this will obviously be the correct angle in which it goes. Of course, my finger doesn't fit. So now I have to take another set of magnets and bring this up. So now, back to what we do. We know that this is going to be inside. So this is going to be end up going in there, and this one can be flush because we already know that we left this one sticking up a little bit as we were indicated when we did our test fit. So I'm going to install this one. We'll come back and give it a shot, see how it goes. All right, guys. So we went ahead. We did our installation of our magnet here. So now we have nice magnet, pretty flush, and we can now see how it all fits. So we already did that one, and now we came with this one, and wow, very nice fit. We don't have to worry about Joker coming out. This is perfect. Came out amazing. Like I say, this is a good fit, man. This is a nice magnets making contact. Now me, I'm anal, man. I know this is gonna be bothering me. I have to see because this comes with a jacket over it, and I'm gonna go ahead and see how this little gapping area here, if it's supposed to be like that, or if it's just something that you know, I have to fix with the Aves epoxy sculpt, and you know, make sure. I don't like to see no gaps. I don't like to see no seams. I might just come on in and make this shirt perfect. Now I know that this is an engineering thing. This isn't that the magnets aren't you know, are making the head come up, because you know, our system is pretty accurate, man, the way that we installed this. So this is, at first they weren't touching and the gap was still there. So I know that this is a engineering thing. But yeah, so that was a quick video on how to do magnet installations. We'll do this for everywhere that there's gonna be magnet placement. It's a tedious thing. This video obviously has edits, so you know that I'm back and forth. It's not you know, the funnest thing to do, the magnet installations, but it's a necessary evil, and I think you know, it's definitely well worth it. All right, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this one. We'll keep it short and sweet. We'll do a Joker kit review soon, and you know, we got a lot of other good things coming. All right. So thank you for tuning in, and until next time, take care.